Spartans! What is your profession?
I try to live what they let go, away to dreams they'll never know. But a drowning soul can't save the tide, and now I see I must step aside.
I fought till my hands turned to stone, carrying battles that weren't my own. They swore they'd stand but turned away, left me to bleed in the fray.
I held the line as long as I could, fought for the spark they misunderstood. They whispered dreams they'd never choose, said they were in but lived to lose. I can't fight for you no more, knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in but faded out, your silence echoes a deafening shout.
I wanted to see your colors fly, but you clipped your wings and let them die. You crave the fall, not the fight to win, a war within that you let begin.
I can't fight for you no more, knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in but faded out, your silence echoes a deafening shout. I saw the fire dim in their eyes, promises buried under their lies. They wore the crown of fleeting belief, but ran from the throne when it brought grief. Oh,
I tried to carry your weight on my back, but your shadow was a heavy attack. You disappeared when the fire burned high, left me screaming at an empty sky.
I wanted the victory more than they, but you can't chase stars for those who stray. So I lay down the sword and walk away. The battle's lost, they chose decay. I can't fight for you no more, knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in but faded out, your silence echoes a deafening shout. Oh, they vanished like shadows in the light, fading away when it's time to fight. I reach my hand, they let it fall. I can't catch ghosts, I've given it all.
Oh, they vanish like shadows in the light, fading away when it's time to fight. I reached my hand, they let it fall. I can't catch ghosts, I've given it.
Welcome back to another Thursday night episode with your Shooty Techo Drauf. Normally we work on some cybersecurity stuff tonight. However, I am going to continue working on the Sunday project because I am trying to get this infrastructure set up, our DevOps projects, so that I can have the AWS environment ready for the dashboard, for the engineering metrics dashboard. So we're going to be working on that tonight. We're going to be using our 5 credits so we can get our so that we can get our token hit. We gotta get our token hit because I am a token fiend, as the hat clearly says. I am Techo Drauf. We are engineered to win. Or, like some of my friends like to say, I do my very, very best to annoy you. Yes, you to success. So we got some fun topics tonight. We are going to take a look at how. So basically, we're going to go down this route. During our first break, we're going to look at how drones are being used. Different way, like one way that I saw that drones are being used, and I found it very, very fascinating, and that triggered me to think of how jobs are changing. And I wanted to talk to you about that, how jobs will exist, but the way that they're done will change, and how we need to continue to level up our skills. So we're gonna get into that. I know Junior is a drone guy, so he'll contribute a lot to that conversation once we get there. We're going to be here's our plan: 5 tokens, drones, work on infrastructure, talk about US and Intel, the company Intel, make chips. And then we're gonna wrap it up with one more segment of our DevOps. And if Rod Brown shows up because he didn't hear the Annoying to Success song the other day, we will play that song. Once he shows up, next break we will play the song. If he shows up. You know, you never know with that guy. Shout out to my guy Rod Brown. Had an amazing live stream yesterday. I jumped on there for a little bit, had an amazing conversation. Shout out to him. If he shows up, we will go that route. All right. So, quick housekeeping. First and foremost, I want to say a big thank you, huge thank you to all of the subscribers to the channel, those who have been with me for a very, very, very long time, and those who are brand new, those who helped us get past 2.7 thousand subscribers on the channel. We are growing, we are working. Look, all we do here is work, try to deliver value. We try to make tech fun again, showing that if you gamify your workflow in anything that you do, you can make it exciting. If you just want to say, oh, I'm gonna have to do this and make it like a task, then you're gonna get tired, you're gonna get bored. But my goal here is to add value by showing you how you can make tech fun, how you can gamify your workflow, you can make everything a challenge, and you can win. Next up, shout out to all of the Tech Coach Off Patreon members. Shout out to my Tech Barbarians, my Tech Project members. I work with them one-on-one. Shout out to my technical explorers who take advantage of our vibe code and chill sessions every other Saturday. We are out there. We're there in a Google Meet. We're talking. We're discussing. We're creating prototypes, answering questions, just hanging out. About 2-ish hours where we're just working and sharing insight, collaborating together. So shout out to all of the Tech Coach Off Patreon members who allow me to add value into their lives. We don't have a vibe coding show this weekend. Oh my God, I have to upload it. So what I'll do, I will upload it tomorrow, right? Got to upload it tomorrow. So you can watch this past weekend's vibe coding show. It was really, really good. Really good conversation with one of my Tech Barbarians who played an instrumental role in building out Resume Flow at resumeflow.app. If you need some resume feedback, some insight how it matches up against the ATS, check out resumeflow.app. Last but certainly not least, shout out to my tech mercenaries. Those are my YouTube channel members who allow me to come on YouTube day in and day out, allow me to add great value into your lives. I appreciate every last one of you.
I appreciate you.
We are the best.
We the best.
And let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. So next up, tomorrow we will be premiering the Bug Bite. We're going to be talking about United Airlines had all of their flights grounded. They had a quote unquote technology issue. What was that technology issue? We don't know. But we're going to be reviewing what happened with United Airlines, that they were grounded. All United Airlines flights were grounded. Yes, they were. We'll be reviewing that, what happened, all those juicy details tomorrow on tomorrow's episode of The Bug Bite at noon Eastern time. Looking forward to seeing you there. I will be in the chat with you. Next live stream after that is going to be Sunday. Going to be continuing on the same things that we're working on today, working on our DevOps, working on our infrastructure, Terraform, all the things that we've learned, they are coming together today. So see you then, see you there. Last but not least, resumeflow.app, sponsor of today's show. Apply smarter. Apply smarter. You can take the apply and pray approach, right? And you just do mass apply. Hopefully one hits, you just throw a bunch of job application spaghetti at the wall. You have no idea. Or you can apply smarter. You can go to resumeflow.app, upload your resume, and get some feedback on your resume. And you can see what necessary adjustments that you need to make those adjustments, and then upload it again, get another analysis. Next, you see a job that you like, take the job URL or description, put it in Resume Flow, have it tell you how well you match up with the job. It gives you a score. What skills do you have lacking for that job? And once you say, okay, yeah, I am a good match for this job, then you can track the whole process. You get to the interview stage, and you update that. It's gonna say, oh, you have interview coming up. Do you want 40 questions for your interview? 20 job-based questions based on the job description, and 20 based off of your resume. It gives you the type of question. Is it behavioral? Is it technical? Or how difficult? Is it a hard question? Is it an easy question? And you can practice, you can study, have somebody help you to get into the right mindset, and you are good to go. Resume Flow, having you apply for jobs smarter. All right. So next up, it is time for us to get our token hit. So we are going to jump. Let me throw this up real quick. Boom. Token. Okay. You want to be behind there? All right. Token hit time. We're going to be working on our engineering dashboard. So let me go over to here. And I will throw up 20 minutes on the clock, and we will work our way through it. Let's see what we got going on. Let me move this over. Let me do... Oops. Give me a second. All right, we got my guy Junior in the building as well. What's up, Junior? You are never, as Ashanti said, you are always on time. What's up, Junior? What's up? Happy to have you here as always. So we're gonna be getting into our and you know what, Junior, I'm happy you showed up at the perfect time because there's something I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you something. Let me go to, so let's get started. Let me throw up our first 20 minutes on the clock.
It's time to do.
So remember we were talking about the rollover earlier this month, Junior? So check this out. And I click on here. It says that I have 33 rollover credits because honestly, yesterday, I was going to do some more work on it. Was it yesterday? Between Tuesday and yesterday, I was going to do some more work on it. I was like, you know what? I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me. I've been working like straight for how many days and coming off of jiu-jitsu, jumping on the live with Rod Brown. I was like, you know what? There is no work getting done. There was no work getting done tonight.
Bruh.
And I said, you know what? We will see if the rollover actually works. And look at here. We got some rollover credits. Let's go. Let's get it. All right. So here's what we want to do. Here is what we want to do. So I guess the first thing we'll start off with is I noticed that how do I get out of here? I noticed that our cron job is not working. So it says the next update is supposed to be 8:15 at 8 a.m., which would be tomorrow. However, it is not actually taking place for some weird reason. So I am going to ask about, well, first thing I'm going to do, I am going to go in here and I'm going to go to, not this one. Let's go to this one. And I'm going to go and take a look at my edge functions, and I guess I'm not entirely sure where that cron job lives. Okay, so I don't know where the cron job lives. So I'm gonna say the automatic refresh is supposed to happen every morning at 8 a.m. I can see the next update is set for tomorrow, but the last update was a few days ago. I don't think the cron job is actually being triggered. Can we get the cron job to update on schedule? Also, where is that cron job configured in Supabase? All right, so that's our first prompt, right? Let's see what's going on over here. The next thing that we're going to do is, so while it's doing that, right? While it's doing that, the next thing is, if we look at the dashboard here, it only shows us the Jira data, the flow metrics. It doesn't show us the GitHub information. Also, I can't configure this, but it's not that big of a deal. But because I'm more concerned of getting the data, like I said the other day, but I don't see all the GitHub stuff. So I'm gonna ask it next to figure out this GitHub stuff. And once we get the GitHub, we should have all the data that we need to display. And then we can go into, then we'll be in a good spot to start migrating data over. So yeah, so that's going to be our next prompt after we get this stuff to work. Looking at your ingest settings, I can see the issue. The cron job should be running daily at 8 a.m., but it's not being triggered properly. Let me help you troubleshoot this from the code. I can see that the cron job is configured in your Supabase database using the PG cron extension. The cron job is scheduled through the schedule ingestion function in your database, which creates a job that calls your Jira ingest function. Here's where you can check and manage a cron job. SQL editor, you can view and manage cron jobs by running SQL queries. Edge function logs, check if the function is being called but failing. Okay, so that's what I was looking for. So it's under the cron job is scheduled through your schedule ingestion function. I didn't see that function. Did I see that function? Wait, I'm over here. Do you see a scheduled ingestion function? I don't. Am I blind? I don't see a scheduled ingestion function. I see this. Or maybe it's a database function. Ah, there we go. Scheduled ingestion function. Are there any logs for this? Not that I see. Okay, but now we know where to find it. There should be some type of logs somewhere for it. Okay. All right, so there we go with that. Oh, I have the interview thing on. Let me turn it off. All right, cool. Let's see. So we have that. Check if the function is being called but failing. Edge function logs. I've added diagnostic tools to help identify and fix the cron job issue. Now you need to create a couple of database functions to help with the diagnostics. Let me provide the SQL for that. Create a replace function, get cron jobs. Once you approve these SQL functions, you'll be able to use the diagnostic tools to check current cron jobs, see if your ingestion job is actually scheduled and active. Test the ingestion function, manually trigger to see if it works, check extensions, verify the PG cron and PG net are properly installed, reschedule, easily unschedule and reschedule a job if needed. The most likely issues are the cron job was never properly created, the job exists but is inactive, the PG cron extension is enabled, the job was deleted or corrupted. All right, so let's see let's fix these issues first. But while we're here, let me close this one. Let's go look at this. Let's go take a look at the edge function. Well, what's logs? No. So let's go edge functions. Jira ingest. Look at the logs. Let's say last 24 hours. Last 24 hours should, oh, no logs for the last 24 hours. That is interesting. So that means that the job was like never really triggered then. Say last 5 days. Huh. So this one was actually never triggered. That's interesting. That is interesting. Jira ingest. Okay. Well, that's we're getting some. We are getting somewhere. Still unsuccessful. So we're gonna have to fix all of these issues until we can. Maybe I need to apply this for these changes to go through. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. The TypeScript errors have been fixed by using the ingestion settings table, which exists in your project instead of trying to access pgstat activity, which isn't available to the Supabase client. All right, so now I'm going to go and apply these changes. So now I'm going to do my database query. And then we should be able to see. We should be able to see, we should be able to test to see why our ingestion is not happening. Let's go here. All right, component now uses the proper database functions that were just created. This will help you troubleshoot cron job issue by. So, and basically what a cron job is you put, it's like a scheduler on a server. So let's do let's do Gemini. Let's do Gemini. What is a cron job? So a cron job is a time-based job scheduler in Unix-like computer operating systems. It is a command used to schedule commands or scripts to run automatically at specified times, dates, or intervals. Think of it as setting a reoccurring alarm for your computer to perform specific tasks. So it's basically a task scheduler. I'm not going to get into, maybe I'll do a video specifically on how cron jobs work, because there is a syntax for it, but just wanted you to see what exactly a cron job is. As you get in tech, as you get in DevOps, you will be using cron jobs to trigger different tasks from happening to happen at a particular time. All right. So let's go back to here. Okay, now you can use so now you can use this tool to diagnose why your scheduled ingestion isn't running every morning at 8 a.m. So let's go over to our admin. Refresh. Let's go to data ingestion. And let's say check cron jobs. No cron jobs found. The ingestion may not be scheduled yet. What? What? Awkward. Let's try to save this again then. All right, so now I'm checking again. Wow. Wowzers. Let's say check extension. So we check our extension. PG cron is installed. All right, shout out to that. And PGNet is also installed. If no cron jobs are found, try scheduling ingestion again. If extensions are missing, contact your Supabase admin. Check the edge function logs for any errors during scheduled runs. Verify cron secret environment variable is set. So I remember we did the cron secret before already. let's do, so let's unschedule, right? No job to unschedule. What? I see it right here, but I see it right here. All right, so let's say we do this and we save. All right, and we do check. There's no jobs, right? So let's say we enable, and we do save, check. No, it's saying nothing found. Huh. Test function. Let's see what happens when we test the function. Cron jobs found 0. I don't know what this test is actually doing. Oops, shouldn't have did that. Let's do that again. So let's go here. I got impatient. Check cron. No jobs found. Test the function. So what I will say is, it is telling me that no jobs are found. Ingestion function tested successfully. So the test is going through. Get cron jobs is not finding anything, but this is working. So everything is working except for the cron jobs being saved. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the ingestion may not be scheduled. It's right. It's scheduled right there. So let's go over here. Actually, no. Let me check here. Functions. Refresh. And you see nothing. Oh, something happened over here. Logs. Ingestion complete. I think that's for my test. I think that was from my test. So, but when I try to check the cron job, it says no. All right. So when I click, what am I clicking? I'm clicking check cron jobs. Check cron jobs. It is telling me that no cron jobs are saved. However, I do have the schedule enabled. What is the correct way that cron jobs should be saved? The screenshot is currently what I have. All right, so now if I go over here, and I say that, take a picture showing my configuration. And we go over here, we paste it, send it off, see what we get. I can see the enable scheduled ingestion checkbox is checked, but the job ID shows empty, which indicates that while your setting is enabled in your local state, the actual job was not successfully created in the database. Well, that's a problem. The issue is likely in the workflow between enabling and setting the actual scheduling. The cron job, let me examine the workflow. When you check enable scheduled ingestion and click save, it updates the ingestion settings table, but the actual cron job creation happens when you click schedule button, which appears to be, which should appear when enabled is false. The problem is that once is enabled is true, the schedule button disappears and is replaced with unscheduled, but the job wasn't actually created successfully, you're stuck. Let me fix this by improving the logic in the admin ingestion panel. All right, so let's try that again then. Let's go back over here. Let's refresh. Data ingestion. So if we do this, save, and we do, so enabled but not scheduled. Okay. Let's do schedule job. And oh, nice. Job status active, job ID number 1. We are in it to win it. If we check this box right here, right? If we do this, oh my God. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. So that means tomorrow we should have a ingestion. So this should go through tomorrow. If I go over here and I say refresh, data freshness is active. Next update tomorrow at 8 a.m. We should see if that happens. And it was updated, so we should go from there. So now if I go to, and I fixed something the other day too. If I go to squad, so when I have nothing selected, it's going to show me 0 over here. When I say drill it down to the alpha team, it's going to still show 0. Still shows 0. And then I choose my alpha squad. Now the data is going to be accurate. So that's exactly what I wanted. And I know this is good because my Q engineer created a defect and it went from 95 to 96. Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. So let's do the last prompt really quick. Where are we at? So we are at 2 left. All right. So I'm going to say, when I am logged in as a non-admin user, I can see the Jira metrics on the dashboard, but I don't see any of the Jira or GitHub data, GitHub metrics on the dashboard. Let me check my settings. Dashboard configuration. Oh, well, wait, no, that should be, yeah, it should be there. These are all my Jira stuff. I used to have the option to say that they're global, but I don't see that.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
Let's see. Dashboard. I'm not sure if they are set to display globally to all users. I no longer have the global toggle on the dashboard, but I don't see GitHub data as a non-authenticated user, but I can see it as an admin. All right, so let's go over here and I'm going to send that off. And then we shall, I think I have like, what, 1 more credit after this one, so I could probably use it on something. The GitHub metrics are not showing for non-admin users because the configuration metrics are not set up to be global by default, unlike the Jira metrics, which appear to have global configuration. Let me check the current GitHub configuration to see if it's set to be global, and if not, we need to create a global GitHub configuration that all users can access. All right, that's what I want to see. mean, it's not respecting this charts grid configuration, but that is something that we can always figure out later on. Right. So I've updated GitHub metrics to work for non-admin users, modified GitHub metrics dashboard to check global GitHub configuration when no personal GitHub service is available. Simplified that non-admin users should be able to see GitHub metrics if there's a global GitHub configuration setup. As an admin, you can make your GitHub configuration global by updating it in the database or through the admin interface as set to is true. Let me check the admin interface. GitHub. Those are GitHub metrics. Dashboard. I don't see the GitHub thing they're talking about. Make sure I refresh. Let's go to dashboard again. I don't see the global thing that they're talking about. GitHub integration. Yeah, I don't see what they're talking about. That's the Jira stuff. Okay, so anyways, let's go over to here. Let's see if it at least shows up over here. It is not showing up. Okay. Take a look at the code. No GitHub configuration available. Oh, all right. So I'm just gonna say I don't see where in the admin interface to say that GitHub is global, and I also don't see it on the dashboard when logging in as a non-admin but authenticated user. Refresh this again. And why does it say my data is not fresh? Let me throw that in there as well. Also, as that user, it is saying that my data freshness is inactive. So it seems like it isn't reading from the cron job database. So the user doesn't know how fresh the data is and when the next update will happen. Let's see what we get with that one, and then that will wrap it up for today on getting our token hit. The admin interface doesn't have a way to see GitHub configurations as global, and non-admin users can't see the data freshness information because it's tied to personal ingestion settings. Let me fix both. All right, let's see. All right, I fixed both issues. GitHub global configuration, updated the simple GitHub connection component so admins can now check a make this configuration global to all users. Data freshness for non-admin users, updated the data freshness indicator to fetch and display global ingestion settings when users don't have personal settings. Of course, there's an error. Let's go ahead and fix that error. All right. There is a lot of React front end work that's happening here. Like digging into the code, I've been able to feel so much more confident in my React ability. I might not be able to write it from scratch or understand all the key details, but I am feeling so much more confident in understanding React. All right, let's go over here, refresh. Let's go to dashboard configuration. I still don't see the GitHub thing. GitHub integration. Ah, there we go. Make this config global, update configuration. We got that. And if we go to refresh this page. Okay, we have all this data in here. Let's go back over here. And if we refresh that page, oh, I don't see it. I don't see it. Let's see. I think because this still isn't updating. And I know the data's fresh, but it's not. This is getting, or should do. This is getting updated, right? But this isn't showing the latest update, and we are not getting our Jira or GitHub information. So, but that's where we'll leave it at. We are out of our 5 daily tokens, so that is a great stopping point for today. I still do have my 33 rollover credits that I'll be using after the show, but it is time to get the break. So let me check the chat really quick. Get that down. And let me see what we got going on over here. So we got my guy in the building, my guy Junior. He says, what's up? What's up? What's up, family? What's good with you, Junior? Hopefully everything is going phenomenal for you. Junior says, I'm late, but I'm here. You are never late, Junior. You are very much appreciated over here. And Junior says, the credits actually do roll over. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I was afraid. But I was like, you know what? I just don't have the energy to do some more work. Because look, doing this work takes a lot of thinking and knowing how to word it and prompt it and thinking of how you want it to work and all that type of stuff. And I just didn't have it in me the past couple of days. I'm like, you know what? We will take the rollover gladly. All right. And the rollover worked. Here says, that's a relief. Whew, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh my goodness. Stop the show. Stop the show. Stop the show. Could it be? Could it be the one, the only? We got Darcel Chapman in the building. What's good? What's up, Darcel? Hopefully everything is going very well for you. I have not spoken to you in quite a while. Thank you so much for stopping by. I know you are super busy with your studying and all that good stuff. So thank you for taking a moment out of your busy schedule to say hello. Thank you so much, Darcel.
Let's get it.
Let's see. Junior says the coach ran out of energy. Say it ain't so. Look, I had enough energy to sit on the couch and not do anything until it was time to go to sleep for about an hour yesterday. After I got off, it was like almost 11 when we got off with the Rod Brown yesterday. You know what? I'm not doing this. I am not doing this. I am going to sleep. I don't have. You remember Steve Urkel? I don't have to take this. I'm going home. That's how I felt. You know, I'm not doing this. Like, I'll wake up in the morning and I'll do some more work. But tonight, there's no reason for it. There is no reason for it, right? Anyhow, if you have not done so already, go check out resumeflow.app, resumeflow.app. Get your free resume analysis. Upload your resume. It will give you some feedback on what the ATS is looking for, the applicant tracking system. What are some high points? What's missing from your resume? All of that good stuff. And once you see the job that you are interested in, you can put in that job URL or the job description, and it will compare your resume to that job description and tell you what you're missing, what you're really strong in, and give you a score. And then you can go through applying for that job and use the job tracking system so that once you get to the interview stage, because it will help you get interviews, when you get to the interview stage, then you can say, hey, can you generate me 40 interview questions, 20 about the job, 20 about your resume, and you can get well prepared so that you can land that job. That is at resumeflow.app. Darcel says, everything is great. I had to stop by. You have been a great motive. Oh, thank you so much, Darcel. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Darcel.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hopefully all your studies and stuff are going phenomenal. I remember you were telling me, I think you said it was a cybersecurity you were working on, Darcel. You were taking some courses, some online things for cybersecurity. How is that going? You were working on certifications? Let me know how that is going, because we will for sure celebrate you over here. All right, here's where we're gonna go. Here is where we're gonna go. I wanted to show you guys this video that I saw. It was a YouTube short from DJI. You guys know DJI. They make drones. They make camera type stuff. They make like the pocket cam. They make the action cams. They do the gimbals to hold your phone and stuff like that. But I saw this really cool video, this really cool short of how drones are being used, and that made me think about a conversation that I saw today happening in a Discord, where someone was asking, like, what's up with these jobs? Like, is the ACS really being hard on people? I can't really get a job. And I'm going to share to you basically what my response was, right? But I want to watch this video first. So let me throw up 5 minutes on the clock, and we're going to watch this video, and then I'm going to give you some feedback on that. All right. And we're going to go to shorts. So let's watch this together really, really quick. It's like 30 seconds. All right. So basically what that was a drone, a DJI drone being used to investigate. Let me throw this up real quick. A DJI drone being used to look at the power line probably by some electricity workers, you know. But a few months ago, I went to this event for Broward County, and they had different sectors, like different departments from Broward: police, fire, construction, bus, the public transportation. And I was captivated by the Broward Sheriff's Office, where he was showing how they're using drones. They're using drones to assist with their surveillance in a way. And he was explaining to me that, if there's like for instance, like a hostage situation, right? they don't need to put a helicopter over a stationary area. They can redirect. It's going to be cheaper to put up a drone up there, and they can and they have more than one drone, so they can swap out drones. They can also so now the helicopter can be in something that is more useful for a helicopter, like a high-speed chase, because a drone won't be able to keep up with a high-speed chase. But a drone can stay stationary above a location and monitor and stuff like that. And they were training people to be drone operators. And I'm looking at this video, at this short, showing how now instead of a of electrical worker having to go up into that, whatever they call that lifting that they do, they can send a drone up there to do the initial examination, and it can go a lot quicker by just throwing up a drone up there, take a look, take some pictures, record some video, seeing what you need. So imagine this, right? So let's say the electrical workers need to do some maintenance on some power lines, but they need to do an inspection first. You can have one, you don't need the big old truck to go to a bunch of different power line locations. You can take the drone and you can throw it up into the sky, go and look at each of those poles in a regular car, and have it take a look, record your video, and now you can go back to wherever the headquarters are, and you can review that video, and you can see all the things that need to be done, so you can schedule that. And now when you have to send the actual people up there, you know exactly where to go. It's so much cheaper because you're not burning a bunch of gas on the truck, on the lift and everything like that. So it makes it so much more efficient, right? Now, how do I tie this back to the person saying, like, what's up with these jobs? It's so much harder to get a job and stuff like that. Jobs will always be around, right? But the skill sets change. Knowing how to operate drones is going to be huge, because I was watching this show, right? I've been watching this show called Missing Person Unit on Amazon Prime, and they were trying to find a location, somebody, right? And this guy had probably 100 drones. He had them all go up into the sky. Does this really happen? I don't know. Maybe not. But it was fascinating to me how he had all these drones go up into the sky at the same time, controlled by one computer, and just searching a whole area in the woods for some type of Bluetooth connection, right? So the thing is, like, there's going to be different.
Get a move on. Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on. Get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
There's going to be different jobs that are going to be popping up. Drone operators is just one of the possibilities where the police have use for them. Probably the fire department's going to be using them if they're not already. Actually, no, I take that back. Fire departments are using them. Because like Junior just said, they use drone. Let me put it up real quick. It says they use drones to help with search and rescue as well. Real estate is another one. Drone photography is huge. But I remember I was watching, I don't know if it was on YouTube. It might have been on YouTube. But they're using drones at the beach to do search and rescue. And they even had the drone toss the rope for the person. And I think it was the fire department that was in control of that. So these technologies are coming out there. And while we can look at them, oh, it's fun, this is fun, that. No. There are business opportunities. There are career opportunities for these drones. There's drone pilots in the military. Now we have police departments using drones to do surveillance, to search and rescue, real estate, whatever you can think of. I don't know if anybody's seen the little DJI drone where it just toss it up in the air and it'll follow you. It'll follow you wherever you're going. The most important thing to realize is that jobs are not stationary. what you were doing yesterday might be working today, but tomorrow it'll be a totally different ballgame. And if you do not stay ahead of the curve, here's what I told them in Discord. I said, look, jobs, especially because of boot camps, right? Because of boot camps, the barrier to entry is so much higher because now people are mass applying for jobs. They're not qualified, but it's so much harder to filter through what's real and what's not real. So you have to go and show the value that you add. Back in the days, you could just relax, you could just chill, and you didn't have to be social, all that good stuff. And then you would get a job. Now the game has changed, and you have to market yourself. You have to put out work. You have to show what value do you bring. They hate the question, what do you bring to the table? But the job market, every time you interview, you are answering the question, what do you bring to the table? It is what it is. All right, so I said once Rod Brown showed up, if he showed up, we would be playing the song Annoyed to Success, right? So let me check the chat real quick, and then we'll play Annoyed to Success, and then we'll get back to our next segment working on DevOps type stuff, all right? Let me see. Where were we at? Junior says, yes, I have a DJI Mini 2 drone. I almost got a DJI Mini, but I was being cheap. And I knew that I wasn't going to use the drone as much as I should, so I got a cheaper one. But it's a really good one, though. It's a really good one. We got my guy, Rod Brown, in the building. Says, evening, family. Evening to you as well, Rod Brown. Great show last night, I must say. You had an amazing guest up there. The guest that you had up there, he was phenomenal. Junior had said they use the drones to help with search and rescue, as well as real estate. Facts. And the thing is, right, if you want to use it for real estate, you got to get that license. You got to get that. And the police department, they said they're going to train you on how to fly the drone, and they would and they're going to pay for you to get your license, train you to get your license, and then they have like a separate training. But in order to be part of the program, you got to go through the regular. It's for regular cops, right? Regular police officers. They can volunteer to be part of the drone unit, and they get training for it. They get their own drone. And it's a big drone too. But they get to get their license. They get to get the training for it, and they get to if they're on the unit and there's something happening, he says, hey, we need a drone operator to go over to this place, and they'll go there, put the drone in the sky, and do the monitoring and the surveillance, all of that good stuff. And the good thing about a drone is it can go a lot closer than a human can without being noticed, and it's quieter than a helicopter and stuff like that. So a lot of opportunities out there. Junior says they have a drone that can get up to 298 miles per hour. Good Lord, that's a fast drone. But that's probably way too expensive for the police department. Let me see. Rod Brown with the what's wrong, Rod Brown? Rod Brown, do I have to drop the link? Do you want to talk about it? All right, so now we are going to play the song. As I get ready for our next segment, we're going to play the song Annoyed to Success, all right? Because that is going to be Rod Brown's favorite song of all time. Let me get it up. There we go. Ready? Here we go.
I'm the hit you can't ignore. The tap at your door. I'm the whisper in your ear. The shout you didn't hear. I'm the spark, I'm the sting. The buzz in my wings. Flying circles around your doubt till you break out. Push and push. Don't stop the fight. I'm the shadow in your light. Every step you think you'll fall. I'm the voice that makes you crawl. your shoe, the echo chasing you. I'm the twist, I'm the turn, I'm the lesson you won't burn. I'm the nag, I'm the nudge, the grit that won't budge. Building castles from the sand, steady hand.
I'll annoy you to the edge, but I'll never let you fall. I'll be screaming from the ledge. You can have it all.
Push and push, don't stop the fight. I'm the shadow in your light. Every step you think you'll fall, I'm the voice that makes you crawl.
Push and push, climb that hill. I'm the mosquito, unkillable thrill.
I'm the hit you can't ignore, the tap tap at your door. I'm the whisper in your ear, the shout you didn't hear. I'm the spark, I'm the sting, the buzz in my wings, flying circles round your doubt till you break out. Push and push, don't stop the fight. I'm the shadow in your light. Every step you think you'll fall, I'm the voice that makes you crawl. Push and push,
Climb that hill. I'm the mosquito, unkillable thrill.
I'm the pebble in your shoe, the echo chasing you. I'm the twist, I'm the turn, I'm the lesson you won't burn. I'm the nag, I'm the nudge, the grit that won't budge. Building castles from the sand, steady hand. I'll annoy you to the edge, but I'll never let you fall. I'll be screaming from the ledge. You can have it all. Push and push, don't stop the fight. I'm the shadow in your light. Every step you think you'll fall, I'm the voice that makes you crawl.
Push and push, climb that hill. I'm the mosquito, unkillable thrill.
I'll be the thorn that makes you bleed, but you'll thank me when you're freed. Call me stubborn, call me mean, I'm the fuel in your machine.
That was Annoying to Success. Inspired by my guy, Rod Brown. Shout out to Rod Brown. Go subscribe to this channel. What up? And he will attest that that song is the truth. That is who I am. I am annoying to success. As Rod Brown said, the tap tap at your door. Like, hello. Are you thinking about quitting? What? You're not going live? What? You don't want to be on camera? What? And look at where we're at now. Look at where we are now. Anyways, let's get to our second. I must say that was a banger. I love it. I absolutely love it. Darcel is feeling it too. I do what I can. All right, let's get another 20-minute segment up on the clock.
Let's go!
So where we left off on Sunday is we were building out our Terraform stuff to start up our to set up our infrastructure. We need to, let's finish doing that. Let me check out our guide. If I can find which one it was. All right, so there goes our structure. We did this already. So basically this is setting up our modules for the VPC, virtual private network, our Elastic container service, our database, RDS, our application load balancer, our security stuff, our security groups and stuff. We have our environments for development, staging, and production. And we have our shared variables file. And I guess there's a README file that's going to be in there somewhere. So we did all of this. And what I'll end up doing, I'll end up moving this to the other screen so we don't have to go back and forth between screens. But this was all the Terraform code that we have done on Sundays, like a year ago, that we learned together. We have our outputs. Do we put yep, we have the outputs. Let's keep going. Let me see, where are we at? Security group. We did our security groups, right? So let me just go over to the other screen. Let's do, it'll be easier to see it next one, see them next to each other. Okay, let's do it that way. Let me see how it looks. Yeah, we're good. We're good like this. All right, so let's go to, hold on. I need the other file. Oh, I gave me this one for. Let's go to this one. So Terraform, we did all of this already. RDS database module, we got that in there. Let's see. All right, everything is in there. So next we got, so we're not doing CloudForm or CloudFormation. That is, CloudFormation is basically AWS's version of Terraform, right? Their in-house version of Terraform. Let's see, deployment instructions and best practices. So Terraform deployment process. Deploying the Terraform infrastructure requires careful preparation and execution to ensure successful resource creation and proper state management. The deployment process involves several phases, beginning with environment preparation and progressing through resource provisioning and validation. Environment preparation. Before deploying Terraform infrastructure, ensure that your local environment is properly configured with the necessary tools and credentials. Install Terraform version 1 or later and configure the AWS CLI with appropriate credentials and region settings. I have that. Create a dedicated S3 bucket for Terraform state storage and DynamoDB table for state locking to prevent concurrent modifications. I think we have that already. State backend configuration. Configure the Terraform to use remote state storage and S3 with DynamoDB locking to enable team collaboration and prevent state corruption. Backend.tf. So in here, we would, so I'm going to change, so this is also going to be US East 1. Bucket, your Terraform state bucket. So I'm going to go into S3 real quick. Let's go into S3. And we're going to create a bucket. We're going to name this bucket engineering metrics Terraform state bucket. Let's do that. Create bucket. Okay, so let's go back over here. And I am going to name it that. And so we got this done. And variable configuration. All right, so we got this one done. I updated to US East 1. Variable configuration. Create environment-specific variable files that define your parameters for your infrastructure deployment. These files should include VPC, CIDR blocks, availability zones, instance sizes, and other environment-specific configuration. All right, so this is going to be the Terraform vars. Okay. Okay, so I already updated everything to US East 1. I think this can stay for now, and then we can adjust as necessary, because this is just a test in my environment, so we can get a better understanding. We have all that. All right. Let me check. Okay. I think we can go with dev for now. Before deploying Terraform infrastructure, ensure that your local. Okay, we got that. Create environment-specific variable files that define parameters for your infrastructure deployment. These files should include. Okay. All right, so execute the Terraform deployment in phases to ensure proper resource dependencies and error handling. Begin with initializing, planning, and then apply configuration with careful monitoring of the output. So we are going to go open our terminal, wherever it may be. Okay. So we are going to say Terraform. Let me see, pwd ls. Okay, so we're gonna say Terraform. Oh, I'm learning. See, and this is why I absolutely love doing this. I'm learning more about how, because I've used Terraform plenty of times, right? But I'm seeing different ways that it's applied. So that's really cool. Right? So Terraform init to initialize. Initializing the backend, you may now begin working with Terraform. Try running Terraform plan to see any changes that are required in your infrastructure. All Terraform commands should now work. If you ever set or change modules or backend configurations for Terraform, rerun this command to reinitialize your working directory. If you forget, other commands will detect it and remind you to do so. All right, so now we're going to do Terraform plan -var -file equals, and it's not autocomplete. Come on. Let me see. Var Terraform plan var file. Do I really have to type this whole thing out? Environments dev. I'm actually hoping it gives me an error right now, because there's got to be a easier way to do this. TF vars out TF plan. Let's see what it gives us. Let me see. Terraform error acquiring state lock. Operation error DynamoDB put item HTTPS response status error code 400. Resource not found exception. Request a resource not found. Unable to retrieve DynamoDB table. Okay, so now here's where I'm going to come into to play with Gemini. Let's go over here, and I'm trying to do a Terraform plan, but I'm getting this error. You really gotta you can't rely on just one tool, right? You need to know how to pair these tools together. So for instance, Lovable is creating the UI, right? And I mean, more than the UI, it's creating the whole application. And then we use Manus to find out how we're going to migrate it to AWS. But now we get an error, a Terraform error, and we're like, why did I get that error? So now I'm taking it to Gemini to say, okay, Gemini, can you explain to me why I'm getting this error? Because while Manus can explain it to me, I don't want to use all of my Manus credits on like troubleshooting. This error means the DynamoDB table that Terraform is configured to use for state locking name Terraform state lock does not exist in your target AWS region. Terraform uses the DynamoDB table to lock the state file, preventing multiple people from running. Okay, so did I add it too soon? Create the DynamoDB table. Do I have to create it first? Let's say I don't have it yet. So Terraform is configured to use state locking named Terraform state lock. Does not exist in your AWS target account and region. This is my first time running the Terraform plan. I didn't create the DynamoDB yet. Should I disable? Okay, so let's say, what should I do when running the first plan and the DB has not been created yet? That's what they say about that. All right, so since it's your first time, you hit a classic chicken and egg problem. Maybe that wasn't the right sound effect, but Terraform needs the DynamoDB table to lock the state. But if you want to use Terraform to create the table, the standard solution is to create your backend resources, the S3 bucket for state and DynamoDB table locking manually one time before you run your main Terraform configuration. This is called bootstrapping. So recommended steps for the first time. Here is a simple one-time process to get you started. Your Terraform state needs a place to live. Run the AWS CLI command to create an S3 bucket. I did that already. I did that manually. Create the DynamoDB table. This is the step that will fix your error. The table is used for locking and requires a specific primary key named lock ID. Terraform state lock. Run Terraform again. Now that the S3 bucket and DynamoDB table exist, your backend is ready. Go back to your Terraform project and run the command as intended. By creating the resources manually, you establish a stable backend that your main infrastructure code can rely on for the very first. What? So are you telling me that I cannot create the... I have the bucket already. So are you saying that the Terraform are you saying that Terraform cannot create the DynamoDB as part of the plan? Because I'm trying to get understanding of what this migration process is going to look like. Yeah, that's correct. Terraform can absolutely create a DynamoDB tables, but it cannot create the specific table it needs for its own backend state locking in the same run. It's a timing issue. The moment you run Terraform plan or Terraform apply, here's what happens. Initialize the backend. Before looking for any of your resource code like resource AWS DynamoDB, Terraform needs to first read the backend configuration block. Acquire lock. It immediately tries to connect to your S3 bucket and write an entry to the DynamoDB you specified in the log file. Oh, failed or proceed. If the table doesn't exist, it fails right there with the error you saw. It never gets to the step of reading your files. the toolbox analogy, think of it like this. You can't build a toolbox using the tools that are supposed to be stored inside. You can't build a toolbox using the tools that are supposed to be stored inside of it. I mean, if the tools are outside of it, then you build it and then you put them in the box. Your Terraform code is like the blueprint for your house, your infrastructure. The S3 bucket and DynamoDB are the toolbox. Terraform needs to safely work on the house. Okay. You must have the toolbox available before you can start building the house itself. That's why the backend resources are bootstrapped or created manually just one time. All right, I got you. So let's go over to, fair enough. Let's go over to here. Table Terraform state lock. Bucket, my unique Terraform state bucket. Okay. So we did this part already. Create table name Terraform state. So that's all that is. Okay, I got you. So we'll copy this over here. And we will say, was that the name that it had? Let me see. Let's go over here. And what was that? Backend. Okay, DynamoDB Terraform state lock. All right, cool. So let's go into here. And let me clear some stuff off. Let's paste that. So this is going to say AWS DynamoDB create table name Terraform state lock, attribute definition. Let's see what happens. Okay. Now what? Is that it? Didn't say we have to do that here, but okay. Is it done? All right, so that should be done. Now, if we try a Terraform, let's try a Terraform plan again. All right, so we have a warning. Your infrastructure matches the configuration. Terraform has compared your real infrastructure against your configuration and found no differences, so no changes are needed. Value for undeclared variable. The root module does not declare a variable named Postgres version, but a value was found in the file. If you meant to use this value, add a variable block to the configuration to silence these warnings. So I guess the question is, should we have used should the Postgres version be used anywhere? So if we go to Terraform vars, Postgres version, but they're saying it's not being used anywhere. So let's take a look at RDS. And well, Postgres version is right here. Why do you believe it's not being used?
Lunch break.
I am going to private subnets was found in your file, but so I'm gonna prompt Gemini one more time, right? I'm gonna say I have a TF or Terraform.tf vars file to set up my dev environment. How can I be sure that it is being used in my actual .tf files as they are showing unresolved references in my IDE. All right, let's do that real quick and then we'll go to break. But I'm going to tell you this again. Of course, for Terraform, to use your terraform.tf vars, you must declare the variable in a .tf file, commonly vars.tf. The IDE error about unresolved versions is the classic sign that the declaration is missing. Terraform automatically loads values from the terraform.tf vars or auto.tf vars, but it only does so for variables that have been explicitly declared. Oh. So, declaration, you tell Terraform that a variable is expected to exist. You do this with a variable block, usually in a dedicated variables.tf file. This is the step your IDE relies on to understand your code. Definition, you provide a value for the declared variable. This happens in your terraform.tf vars. Gotcha. So let's take a look at that really quick. Let's go to variables. Project name, environment, VPC, availability zones, public here. So is it, well, project name is right here, but it's there, but why is it saying that? So I'm guessing that now assign. Okay. But it's not resolving. To use main.tf, finally reference the variable in your resource configuration using the var prefix with the declaration in the variables.tf. This should now recognize this as a valid reference. Okay, yes. We'll give it a try. We shall give it a try. Not entirely sure, but let's go to full screen and we are on break. Do me a favor, check out resumeflow.app, the sponsor of the show. They are doing amazing work helping people analyze their resume. You upload your resume. It is going to do an analysis. It'll tell you, it'll compare your resume to the ATS. A lot of people are complaining about the applicant tracking system. It'll give you a score saying, hey, this is how your resume matches up with what the ATS is looking for. These are the highlights of your resume. These are what could be better in there. Make it better, upload it again, get a better score. Then you see a job that you like, put in that job description or the URL to that job, and it will give you an analysis of how you match up. How does your resume match up to that job? What skills are you hitting on for that job description? What skills are you lacking for that job description? So you can decide if you want to apply to it or not. Then you apply. You apply. You go through the process. You get an interview offer. You can mark that you are in the interview process, and it'll say, hey, do you want 20 practice interview questions or 40 practice interview questions? 20 based on the job description, 20 based on your resume, and it'll tell you what type of question it is. Is it a technical question? Is it a behavioral question? It'll tell you what difficulty is the question. Is it a hard question? Is it an easy question? Is it a medium question? And you can properly get prepared for that interview so that you can apply smarter for jobs. Don't apply and pray. The same way people prompt on a prayer, don't apply on a prayer. Be ready. Be strategic. Apply smarter. ResumeFlow.app. Thank you so much for sponsoring the show today. All right, so the next topic that I wanted to talk about is Intel. Do you guys remember Intel? I remember, all right, for nerds like me, right? It used to be a flex when you said that you had an Intel Pentium in your computer. And it could be an Intel, but if it was a Celeron, nope. Take your Celeron and your celery down the street somewhere. It has to be a Pentium. I remember Pentium 4 was people were crazy about that Intel Pentium 4. But over the last few years, it has been a struggle for Intel. But then today on TechCrunch, I came across an article. It said the U.S. government, yes, the United States of the beautiful, beautiful America, right, said that they might take a stake in Intel. And not a ribeye, not a New York strip, not picanha, but steak, S-T-A-K-E. Let's read this. Let me throw up 5 minutes on the clock for this one. So this was posted August 14th, today, 1:38 p.m. Pacific time, so 4:38 Eastern time. So I don't know who this guy is. This is, I have no idea who this guy is. But it says the U.S. government is reportedly in discussions to take stake in Intel. What?
Are you ready?
The Trump administration, who, by the way, today said that there's going to be no taxes on Social Security for seniors. Send that to my dad right away. I'm like, look, no more taxes on your Social Security check. Let's go. Let's get it. Can I hold something?
Let's get it.
Can I hold something? Can I hold the tax money? Right? It says the Trump administration continues to meddle with semiconductor giant Intel. I mean, I kind of think Intel has been going down. I have some Intel. Let me see my Intel stock. I don't think I ever sold it. Let me see what I have for Intel. What do I have for Intel? Where's my stash? Where is my stash? Maybe I should start adding money to Intel again. Intel had, oh my God, my stash is beautiful. Oh my God, my stash is gorgeous. I haven't checked it in about a week or so, but it is absolutely fascinating. All right, invest. Let me see. I never bought Netflix, unfortunately. Let me see. Invest. Where's my Intel? I bought Intel a long time ago, but it has been going down. It's been struggling. Did I ever sell Intel? I think I did. I don't have no Intel in here. I guess I got rid of it. Oh, that sucks. It's probably gonna skyrocket now. Oh well. Anyways, let's keep reading. So it says the U.S. government is reportedly in discussions to take a stake in Intel, according to the reporting from Bloomberg. This deal would be structured to help the company expand its U.S. manufacturing efforts, including its much-delayed Ohio chip factory. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, why? Let me keep reading. It says, this news comes less than a week after President Donald Trump insisted that Intel CEO Lip Bhutan resigned because of the perceived conflicts of interest. While Trump didn't provide a reason, this came after Republican U.S. Senator Tom Cotton wrote to Intel's board asking about Tan's alleged ties to China. Tan met with Trump administration on August 11th to quell the administration's fear and figure out ways for the company to work with the government. The meeting is what sparked discussions of the U.S. government taking a direct stake in the company, according to Bloomberg. I want to know why. Like, what is special about Intel? If NVIDIA could survive on its own and has the money to pay 15% of all sales made to China, why do we need to save Intel? Why do we need a stake in Intel? Like, if you work for Intel, I apologize in advance, right? With all due respect. Let them die. Bruh. Let them survive on their own too. All right. I know they're probably a US company for ages, but if they could not pivot, if they could not make do with the AI technology, if they couldn't hang with Apple, if they couldn't hang with NVIDIA, if they can't hang with what is that one? Taiwan semiconductor chips. If they can't hang, then let them go. Let them go. I don't believe in saving people. All right. That is Jesus's job. All right. That is not the U.S. government's job. That is Jesus's job to save people, not companies. God doesn't even save companies. All right. All right. It says Intel declined to comment. Intel is deeply committed to supporting President Trump's effort to strengthen U.S. technology and manufacturing leadership. An Intel spokesperson said in a statement, "We look forward to continuing our work with the Trump administration to advance the shared priorities, but we're not going to comment on rumors or speculation." That means it's true. That means it is allegedly true, right? If they say we're not going to comment on rumors or speculation, that means that they basically signed a third of the company over to the U.S. government.
Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
But here's the problem, though. Here's the problem that I see with this, right? And that's the end of the article. But here's the problem. Let's say the Trump administration, let's say they're very business minded and stuff like that, right? And they help out, because that's basically what it is. And it's not even, it is us, the U.S. citizens, the taxpayers, bailing out Intel, right? I do not believe in bailing out Intel. I don't believe in it bailing out just about any company, right? Let them stand on their own too. Another one will rise, right? Let's do this real quick. Let's do this. Google Intel stock. Of course, today out of all days, that's when they want to go up. But let's take a look at, let me see, year to date, 2386. Let's say 1 year, let's say 5 year, right? So 5 year, the past 5 years, they were at, so this is in, what was this? August of 2020, right? They were at 50. So August 14th, 2020, they're at 48, right? April 16th of 2021, they're at 65, right? And they've been trending downwards all the way down to $29 to $25.77 in September 30th, 2022. They went up a little bit to 50 in December 29, 2023. But then they have been dropping. Almost down. They got to $19.85 in April of this year. Why are we saving them? Why are we saving Intel? There might be a good reason for it. I don't know what it is. I would love to know why we would have to be obligated to save Intel with our tax dollars. Apple doesn't even use, you know what? That is a good point. I think it was in 2020. When did Apple stop using Intel? Apple officially began transitioning away from Intel processors in Macs in late 2020. With the introduction of the first Macs using Apple Silicon, the last Intel-based Mac, the Mac Pro, was discontinued in June 2023, completing the transition. So Apple was they were keeping Intel alive apparently, right? But in when did they say? Late 2020. So it went up. They were still running it up because they're like people were still kind of shaky on the silicone chips from Apple, and then it just went down. It went down. As Life Jennings says, I was down by the river, right? Intel went down. So who uses Intel chips? Who uses Intel chips now? Many companies still rely on Intel chips for their products despite the rise of AMD and Apple's shift to its own silicon. Intel chips are widely used in PCs from manufacturers like Dell, HP, and Lenovo, as well as in servers and data centers through partnerships with companies like Amazon Web Services. In that case, then, why is Intel struggling so badly then? Intel is struggling due to a combination of factors, including falling behind competitors in chip manufacturing and missing key market opportunities, particularly in the AI space. They face challenges in keeping up with the pace of innovation, particularly with rivals like AMD and NVIDIA, who have gained significant market share and mind share. Furthermore, Intel's traditional vertically integrated business model, while once an advantage, is now seen as a burden, as they try to compete with companies specialized in either chip design or manufacturing.
Bruh. Congratulations, you played yourself.
And
I'm in a bind, Nate.
it is what it is. It is what it is. Rod Brown says, sheesh, cold-blooded. Look.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
I'm just saying, all right? Rod Brown says, Intel needs saving just like Dr. Umar needs saving. Save him. Rod Brown, are you going to donate to the FDMG? What? All right. Are you? Rod Brown, wait, what should happen? Should you donate to save it, or should you let AD buy the school for pennies on the dollar and name it after himself? Junior, what do you think, Junior? What should be done? Should Rod Brown donate to save the school, or should we let AD buy the school and name it after himself? That's. Are you gonna step up? Are you going to step, Rod Brown? Are you gonna step up? I said, are you gonna step up? Are you going to step up and save the FDMG something school that will never ever be open? But you know what? Let's stop recording. He said that he was going to regardless of the eviction and auctioning off the school, he was gonna lay tile in the school anyways. What? And what is it? And they're gonna march on Delaware? Like, all right, hold on. Let me see real quick. What's the population of Delaware? Where's my mouse? No. Population of Delaware. Delaware has 1 million people. Rod Brown, are you gonna march on Delaware with Dr. Umar? You know, I also had another thought. I think that he says everything 3 times in order to increase the watch time. Because when I'm watching people review the video, right? When I'm watching people review the video, I'm like, he's really running up the watch time by just repeating the same thing over and like his videos could literally be 90 seconds long. They could be a YouTube short. But the fact that he says everything over and over and over and over, and it's like every 2 sentences, he's repeating the same thing. And it's like that, like, it's not, because I know sometimes when you hear things over and over and over, it makes you act, right? I think in his case, it just annoys people. That's what I'm saying, all right? Rod Brown said that mouse stopped working. Great. Why does this mouse stop working? Did I switch the thing? Ah, there you go. So Rod Brown said that I will not save that school. I will not save that school. I repeat, I will not save that school. Wow. Wow, Rod Brown.
How dare you?
You're not for the people. You are not for the people, Rod Brown. Anyways, let's get one more working segment up on the clock, and then we will get up and out of here. Let's go to boom.
It's time to do.
All right, so we are going to try to do our Terraform apply. I still don't know why that doesn't map, but whatever. Let me see. If I go here, add variable, it adds it up here, but I don't want it there. Why isn't it reading from the variables file? It should. Oh, wait a second. That is this file? Why do they have it in here though? I kind of, let me see. Oh, okay. But is there a variables file that is more global? Or do I have to put it in each one of them? So if I take this, wait a second, what isn't there? Wasn't there something in the, all right, let me go and let's take a look at our configuration over here again. Because there's something supposed to be in that shared file. Variables.tf is supposed to be in the shared file. So if we move that, refactor. So that's here, but now nothing finds it. So we have VPC main. The VPC modules variable file defines the configurable parameters that allows customization between different environments. So okay, so they're saying that this should be in here. Okay, I'll put it back in. But is that the only variables file though? Because I don't see a shared variables file. We got this. database. See, and then it goes straight into the cloud formation. All right, let me make this a little bigger for now. Step by step. I don't see. Well, let's try this, right? Let's just try to run it, see what happens. Let's do Terraform. Let's go to Terraform apply TF plan. Let's see what happens. Or actually, no, I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna do another plan because I moved some stuff around, so just to make sure that it's okay. Define. All right, so we got that. So now let's do a Terraform apply TF plan. Let's see what happens. Apply complete, 0 resources, 0 change, 0 destroyed. Let me see. So no Terraform has compared against a real. So it's not. Is it not reading? So we have all this configuration. USEast1 dev. So let's go back to Gemini. Let's take a look at where should my variables.tf file be placed. Because if we get, because looking at in Manus, right? All right, so main.tf, your main resource, your variables declaration, outputs, Terraform vars. In Terraform modules, declares inputs the module needs. Oh. So we need one for each of them? Or variables for the root module, outputs for the root module, values for, okay, and then do we have a root module then? Okay. So if we look at this again, so this is supposed to be here. VPC main. Security main. ECS, okay. Okay. So how do you... I think something's missing. Terraform deployment. Okay. Variable. Oh, wait a second. Create your specific variable configuration that defines parameters for your infrastructure deployment. These files include VPC. Okay, we got that. We have that. Okay. Deployment execution. I think we have that. Oh, let me do a no. Verify deployment. Let me keep looking, see what else we have. See, it's not. Terraform has compared your real infrastructure, and so if you're looking at Terraform vars, private subnet, but a value is found here. All right, so let's do this, all right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy starting here. Let's go to, let me copy this. Go to Gemini. When I am trying to apply my Terraform plan based on the documentation below, I am going to put in the error that I'm getting. Or it's not an error. I am getting this from Terraform. Why can't it find what needs to, what resources need to be created? So, and this is the same thing I do at Lovable, right? It'll do a bunch of work for me, but something's not working. So I take it into Gemini to try to figure out why it's not working. You're getting because you're likely running into Terraform apply from a directory that doesn't contain any resource configuration. Based on your project structure, you need to run Terraform from specific environment directory. Oh, interesting. The missing piece, calling your module. So the code you've shared defines the reusable modules, the blueprints, but doesn't actually call them or use them. You need a configuration file inside here to tell Terraform to build infrastructure using those modules. Terraform only processes the .tf files in the directory where you run the plan and apply. Top level Terraform directory has no TF files, so Terraform quickly determines there's no infrastructure to build there. You need to create a configuration file inside environments dev that actually initiates your modules. Create a main.tf in your dev environment. Interesting. So why didn't it give us that? Why did it not give us that? When you follow these steps, Terraform will read the main.tf in the dev directory, see the module block. Okay. So why didn't Manus give us that? Okay, well, let's give it a try. I'm gonna go over here. All right. So if we go in here, let me try something real quick. ls cd environments, ls cd dev, ls Terraform plan, and we would do, let me see if I do this. Plan requires configuration to be present. Planning without a configuration would mark everything for destruction, which is normally not what is desired. If you would like to destroy everything, run a plan with destroy, otherwise create a Terraform configuration. So how was it able to do it from the other directory? I guess I use the backend.tf. Interesting. Okay, so let's try what Gemini said then. We're gonna do a new Terraform file. Do I have Terraform in here? Terraform file. Main.tf. And we are going to copy all of that. Let's go like that. And we would go to if we copy this variables file, new we do that. So if we go here, everything is showing up. Unknown property project name. Initialize module directory. So now we do ls and we do Terraform init. Okay. And if we do module for each of these. So what if we were to do again this command? It tells us unsupported argument. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Argument name is not expected here. All right, so we're making progress. I guess that'll be in the variables. Unsupported. So main.tf in module security. project name and module security. So if we look at dev main module, oh, okay. So where's this module security then? Ah, okay. So module security, project name. So are we saying that? Are you saying that? List the availability zones. Huh, okay. What about if we were to do, what if we did this? Let me see if we do this. And now we do a plan.
Lunch break, lunch break.
Okay, here we go. So if we were to do that, it would create our VPC. So basically what we need to do is go through each of these and finish. So I need to VPC, where's VPC? VPC. So I need to put a variables file in the rest of these to match all that. Okay. Got it. I kind of, it's kind of annoying that we need to do it that way. I would want to have one variables file that could be used across many. Let me check. Let me check Gemini real quick. Is it possible to have one variables file and have that shared across multiple modules? No, it's not possible for multiple modules to automatically share a single variables.tf. Each Terraform module is self-contained. The standard pattern pass variables from the root. The most common and correct way to handle this is to declare unnecessary variables in your root module. For example, your environment/dev directory, and then pass them as arguments to the child module. Think of your root module as a central hub and the child module as spokes. The hub holds all the information and passes it only what's needed down each spoke. So if we have pass shared module, but I thought that's what I was trying to do. Using the common.tf var. Okay. Create environment file. Okay. Shared. Oh. And then run a plan or apply with both files, with the last file specified taking precedence in case of overlap. All right, I'll read through that some more, but I'm gonna keep messing with it a little bit more tonight before going to sleep, and we'll go from there. But that's it for tonight. That is it for tonight. We're working. We are working regardless. Learning more about infrastructure, DevOps. We're gonna, as soon as I'm done with this, we're gonna get back to our cybersecurity website scanner project, and we're gonna run it up from there. All right. But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. Let me check let me check the chat really quick. Junior says three times, just like Mr. Umar Johnson. Referring to Rod Brown saying that he will not, I repeat, he will not be saving that school.
Bruh.
Terrible. And Junior says, these people are terrible. They are, as Charles Barkley would say, they're terrible. They need to like the video. Look, you can bring a horse to water, Junior, but you cannot force them to drink.
They ain't believing us.
It is what it is. It is what it is. On our way out, do me a favor. Check out resumeflow.app. Get your free resume analysis. Upload your resume. It will tell you the good things, the bad things, tell you how your resume matches up against the ATS. You can put in a job description so that it can give you a breakdown of how well you match up with the job that you're interested in. And you go from there. You can track your application process, get interview questions generated, all that good stuff. That is resumeflow.app. Tomorrow, we are going to be premiering the Bug Bite at noon Eastern time. We're going to be talking about how United Airlines, their flights were grounded. They were grounded indefinitely, but they're back up in the sky now. So we're going to review that. What happened with United Airlines? What technology issue did they have that made all their flights grounded for a certain amount of time? Check me out tomorrow. I'll be in the chat with you guys. Looking forward to seeing you there. Do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. Check out techcoachdraft.dev, vibe code and chill sessions. I'm going to be uploading the one from this past weekend tomorrow, or I'm going to be uploading it tonight. Scheduled it to be released tomorrow. Check it out. It was absolutely amazing. Great talks with the product owner and lead Q engineer from Resume Flow, giving us a bunch of insight on how it's built, all that good stuff. Check it out. Going to be releasing it tomorrow morning. Got a sprint review this coming Sunday, so I will be releasing the video for the sprint review next week, and you can see all the things that we do in the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon. Looking forward to hanging out with you. Thank you, Rod Brown. Thank you, Junior. Thank you, Darcel, for stopping by. Appreciate every last one of you, everyone who tuned in. Appreciate you as well. But we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
Spartans! What is your profession? Said it was a 5, but it's 6 feet deep. Now I'm digging through the rubble of the plans I keep. You flip the switch, you flip the script. Left me stranded on a sinking ship. I asked for one thing, just one, but you spun a web. Now it's all undone. Chasing tails, chasing ghosts, losing myself in the cold out holes.
You said it was a vibe, a vibe I could ride, but now it's a tide.
You killed my vibe, oh, you killed my vibe. Took the spot, left me empty inside. I gotta restore, rebuild, rewind. You killed my vibe, but I'll take back my mind.
I asked for one thing, now it's all gone wrong. Kill my vibe like a flatline song. Gotta restore it all, rebuild the flow, but you left me here with nowhere to go.
Rabbit holes twist, they pull me deep. Burning tokens, promises you won't keep. I'm trapped in this loop, can't escape. Reality wolves, the edges reshape.
Rabbit holes got me spinning down, burning tokens till I hit the
I
ground.
asked for one thing, now it's all gone wrong. Kill my vibe like a flatline song.
Gotta restore it all, rebuild the flow, but you left me here with nowhere to go. Patch it up, stitch the seams, lost in lines, rewriting dreams. What was broken, I'll make it new.
Every move you made was a match to a fuse. Every word you said felt like bad tattoos. Permanent marks I can't erase. Now I'm stuck in this chaotic space. You killed my vibe.